Hey yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lieutenant Dan, live from Orlando, Florida. I gotta get these things on. Hey yo, what's up? What's up, dudes? What is up? Oh boy, you better know. You better know we're here for you guys. Rise up, stay grounded to everybody in here. Hey, Blizz! Blizz with the super chat, bro. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Blizz, for the 10 bucks, man. The mustache is undefeated and not to be messed with. No trifling with the mustache, man. Hey, yo. Mr. Moss and Jay Holland, good to see you guys in the chat as well. Let me make sure that this chat is working just fine. Chat. Everybody, show the chat. Chat, open sesame. Should be good. Background color, text color. Okay, that should have refreshed the chat. T-Dub, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. Blizz, again, thank you so much for that $10 dono in the super chat. I really appreciate you, brother. Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well. Jay Holland and Mr. Moss, good to see you. Who else is in the building? What's up? What's going on? Share this out with your friends and fam. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. What'd you guys think of the Falcons on Sunday, What'd you guys think of the Falcons on Sunday? I got some thoughts. I got some things that I want to say. You know? I got some things that I need to say. I know some people in the chat are probably going to be a little disappointed. That's fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. It's completely okay to be pissed off with what they're doing right now. I get it. I get it. I like how my chat does not want to move from that one spot, so I can't move it. Whoop-de-doo. Oh my goodness. I want to say this, and let me make sure that the music's not too loud. Yeah, that's fine. I want to say this about the whole... Would you... My cat's trying to rip off my stuff off the wall, bro. I ain't having it. The Panthers didn't get away with it, neither are you. Nice try, Shadow. The Falcons are a team right now that, if we wanted to break it down in a way that everybody could explain, it's a team that just doesn't have the whole package together yet. I'm more concerned with what Atlanta is doing from a right tackle perspective, because Desmond Ridder suddenly was looking towards the right-hand side of the field, and as soon as Caleb McGarry started getting beat, he turned away and started throwing the ball the opposite direction. So I just want to know... I want to know what you guys are really thinking about this offensive line from a pass blocking standpoint, because I went back and I looked at all of Ridder's stuff. That video's coming out real soon. I'll try to get that out as soon as I possibly can. But guys, let's be real. Like, real talk. I didn't see any problem with what Ridder was doing yesterday. I just saw a lot of chances that went to the wayside. I didn't even see anything necessarily wrong with how they were playing. Some people are going to get upset about the London not getting the ball thing. I would say, instead of getting upset about London not getting the ball, Arthur Smith is obviously, in totality, started an offense that does not care about volume. And I know people would probably preface that and say, well, Dan, obviously, he's giving all the volume to the running backs. The whole offense is driven from the rushing attack. That is it. And when they were throwing to Mac Hollins and Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and the first criticism that I saw online about Atlanta and, what they were currently doing was mostly geared towards play calling and, Arthur Smith's an idiot. He can't even get his guys open. Oh, Desmond Ridder is trash. He's always been mid. He'll always be mid. And I think looking at those things, I went into this film review because this stream is going to happen before the film review actually comes out. So those of you that are currently watching this are watching a live discussion while on my right-hand side of my screen, my Camtasia is open, and I have my plays from the Desmond Ridder game, all 22 tape. And I'm currently processing these plays. And I can tell you right now that the Desmond Ridder throws are not the problem. The Desmond Ridder anticipation to make the throw, not the problem. The play choice is not even the problem. The execution is definitely an issue. I can tell you right now that the execution of what the Falcons were trying to do yesterday was very sloppy. Sloppy execution. Did not leave... It left a lot to be desired. It left a lot on the table. The plays that they actually drew up were not the worst in the world. I watched route concepts yesterday and most of today from what Desmond Ridder and this team has done in this Panthers game, which, by the way, everybody in the chat, rise up, stay grounded. We got a dub. We got a dub over the Panthers. I don't know how you guys are feeling right now, but go into the chat right now and put some love in the chat, man. Like, let's just get some rise ups and stay groundeds in here, man. Let's talk. Ryan Watkins, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. If you haven't already said hi in the chat, please make sure you go over here and come say hi. I'd love to say hi to you. Falcons fan 408, what's going on, my man? Damn right. Dub is a dub. Dub is a dub. Dub is a dub. I'm taking the dub. Hi, Kitty. But I'm looking at this Falcons team and I'm going, the execution was not there. Caleb McGarry causing multiple issues, making Desmond Ridder go to look like he's going to check over to the right-hand side. Look, Pitts is open, but now McGarry is getting pushed into the pocket. Desmond Ridder turning the other way and throwing the other way because he doesn't trust his right tackle. That's the truth. He does not trust his right tackle after that game. I would almost say, and I'm not going to say he's damaged goods or there's an issue here, but this ain't it at right tackle. Right tackle needs to have a real solidified guy that nobody's talking about because nobody's worried about it. Dahlman did great, but got bullied a couple of times. Lindstrom did great, but got bullied a couple of times. Matthews did great, but got bullied a couple of times. Caleb McGarry was hanging on for dear life by a string, by a thread, trying to play right tackle yesterday. And I'm going to tell you right now, Carolina's defensive line is one of the better ones we're going to face all year. We're going to face them again this year. So, and it's going to be in their house too. So that's going to be an issue, I think, for a lot of people. But guys, that's not gonna cut it. So the next time we will play them, we will have to go back to doing what we were doing, which is rushing the ball and setting up the run, allowing us to be able to set up the pass off of that with play action. And the callback on the busted play, the throw about 20 yards to Pitts. Pitts lands. There was an illegal block in the back. I believe it was by Tyler Algier. That got called back, so that would have been a big gain from London to Pitts, so that you could have seen a little bit of that improvisation. But they did it later in the game where they had to improvise once again, and Desmond Ridder was able to drop that ball into Tyler Algier and get a couple of yards off of that. They found Pitts in the passing game several times through the game. It just wasn't the big splash play that I think a lot of people are looking for. And then on top of that, I think we can also talk a little bit about the run game as a whole. Bijan Robinson's legit, and Tyler Algier ain't going nowhere, so I don't think they're going to really rely on having this particular dude's the 1A running back, and this is the 1B running back. I don't think there's going to be a specific dude that's going to take up those challenges. I just don't. What are these little feed things? Okay, the mini feed is freaking me out because it's not putting Blizz's thing up, which is freaking me out also too. I wanted to celebrate his super chat, but for whatever reason it didn't come through on this side. So let me hold on one second. Streamlabs. Log in. This one. But look, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being straight. I think Ridder played well. I think Ridder played well. Recent events. Oh, okay. Cool. It never came through with the alert, so sorry, Blizz. I guess the alert didn't come through. It's not, for whatever reason, for whatever reason it didn't send the donation through on this side, but I appreciate you donating anyway, Blizz. Thank you so much for the $10 in the dono. That's great in the super chat. I really appreciate it. You guys can also go and join the membership program if you want to down below. It's new member setup, which is really, really cool. I reset a lot of stuff, so like the subscriber. And I think I redid the membership as well.
Bullet Club.
And then I think
Bullet Club.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Anyhow, but those are just test ones. But run, easy pass, run deep corner, rise up. Yeah, man, I feel that, Blizz. I feel that. I 100% feel that. It's a better option for this team. Defensively, I thought we played out of our minds, but Bryce Young tried to act like he was like a seasoned vet quarterback and ended up throwing some really, really shitty interceptions. And then I ended up listening to PFF, which now I'm having a hard time figuring out if I want to listen to their podcasts anymore because they dogged Ridder. They're like, yeah, Ridder is a real issue in this offense. But then you look at the passing and run blocking grades from our offensive line, and we were mid. We were mid on Sunday. It just wasn't good. Also, by the way, I want to pull this up real quick just so you guys can see this particular play. Where is it at? It's right in here somewhere. It's right here somewhere. There's one where Bijan Robinson ends up trying to block somebody. And I thought it was just hilarious. It was like, please don't do that ever again. You guys probably remember the play, but like, Bijan Robinson will not be blocking anybody anymore. Because, gosh, Bijan, I can't find it. But, like, Bijan Robinson can't block any linebackers. He can't do it. It looked like I after reviewing it, I was like, yo, isn't that just Devontae Freeman trying to block for Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl? Ouch. You know what I mean? Like, it was... We set Michael Pruitt on a play-action pass to block Brian Burns, and it almost killed I almost said Matt Ryan. Almost killed Desmond Ridder. And I'm reminded of the Matt Ryan mistakes that we made as well, which is like, you just get too cute, you get away from your formula, and then you start not playing well. I don't know what you guys currently think in the chat, but I went into the game going, okay, there's a lot to like from this. I don't know what Desmond Ridder is going to look like. I don't know what kind of leash he's going to have. I don't know what kind of plays they're going to end up making. But I can tell you right now that they're going to get Bijan and Algier involved. And, of course, that's exactly what happens. Algier rushes for 2 touchdowns, and Bijan catches one for a touchdown as well. So I like what they're doing as far as how they're getting Bijan and Algier involved, and they're probably going to lean on the plays that were successful from this previous game. But, you know, we're playing the Packers next, and the Packers are a much more polished team offensively. I think they played against a unit that's a little the Bears unit is not a slouch unit, but I think we're looking at the same stuff, you know. We're looking at the same exact kind of like setup. So, you know, it might just be how we're kind of setting things up, how we're kind of putting things together, but you know, we'll take it one step at a time. What? Is my feed just like really beat up?
Bullet Club.
What? Whoa! Whoa! Did that just what? Ryan Watkins. Hey, bro, like, did you just do that? Ryan, did you just do that, dude? Like, for reals? Rise up, Ryan. Like, what? What in the world? Ryan Watkins with the $50 shareholder membership for the month. Ryan, thanks, bro. Like, my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. You don't know how much that means to my wife and I. Like, oh my goodness. Ryan, please make sure that you go into the link in the description of this video to the Discord and say hi to me in the Discord there if you have a moment. Because Ryan, I want to make sure that you're part of the shareholder group that's going to be viewing all of the All 22 tape as we pull it and rip it. Whenever we make videos, you're going to be part of the private chat. Sheesh, bro. Please make sure that you hit me up via Twitter or hit me up on the Discord so we can start getting you in to watch all the videos, because that's what a shareholder gets. Ryan, Ryan, I appreciate you, bro. Wow, holy moly, bro. Well, you're gonna be in for all the rest of the All 22 tape. You're gonna be in to see all the rest of the stuff that's gonna go on the Discord. So please make sure. Thank you. My goodness, bro. That's. Trader, you're crazy, bro. Ryan, you're crazy. You're insane. Thank you. I cannot begin to even thank you enough for the blessings that you just blessed me and my family. So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that's in here that's doing super chats and memberships and All of you guys are crazy. In the link in the description below, you can actually become a member monthly and support Unintentional Grounding, like Ryan, who just did a shareholder Grounders membership per month. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about the memberships themselves before we keep talking about the Falcons tonight. So very quickly, I just want to put this out real quick. So we have, I believe it's 5. Oh my goodness, Ryan, you're crazy. We have a total of 5 membership levels. Every single membership level gives you a few more perks here and there. If you end up doing the Grounders ticket holder, which is $1 per month, you end up getting all of the emotes in the stream, as well as you get member shout outs at the end of the video. Priority reply comments, because there's usually a lot of people that end up commenting on our game days and stuff. If you pay $5 a month there, you'll end up getting a constant reply to any of your comments that you put out. Early access to videos are going to be for all of my $20 guys and gals who support the stream monthly, $20 a month. You're going to get early access to every single video that we put out. So before the video is put out, you will get to see it first in a premiere type setting. And then all of my $50 a month guys and gals are going to end up coming over to the Discord and getting to be in a private, locked Discord where we'll be live showing all the All-22 tape from every single game as soon as we can get it. We'll give that notice to everybody, and everybody can come and see that and see me making videos from the get-go, right before we actually post anything. So please, if you have an opportunity, go check that out. If you're interested in helping the channel monthly, please come on through and hit us up with a membership per month. We really appreciate it, and you get some really cool perks. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that, Ryan. That just means a lot. Back to it. Make sure you check out the PSF app as well, and the link to the description below. There's a lot of the social media platforms and things like that available for you guys. So thank you so much for all your support and everything that you do. Look, Bijan Robinson's the real deal. I can't explain it to you any better than that. Bijan Robinson is the real deal, and how they're getting the ball out to guys like Bijan, out to Tyler. And we were running 3 tight end sets most of the game. So they were running crossing patterns and out routes. If you actually look at a couple of the tapes that we're going to be putting out, we're going to be putting out some shorts, and we're going to be putting out some major videos. Kyle Pitts was mossing people. If you watch his routes, he had guys dropping like flies. And that was just incredible. But Desmond Ridder couldn't get to him specifically because Caleb Bengary and Drew Dahlman and even Jake Matthews actually were getting destroyed by this Panthers defensive line. Again, all credit is due because it wasn't bad play calling. It was more or less just not having that timing, just not having the ability to draw up the plays and do the plays the correct way because of the disruption from Carolina's defensive line. So, man, like that's part of the entire process. And I think Desmond Ridder, for the reps that he was able to put out, for the throws he was able to make on Sunday, those particular throws, he didn't have a turnover all game. There was a strip sack that happened. There was a batted ball up in the air. I'm going to give it to Desmond Ridder, who's making really good decisions. Now, there are a couple of plays that, obviously you want back, and through the whole process of looking at Desmond's throws, that video will, I hope be out by tomorrow. But Dez is going to have to just run with what Arthur is wanting to do and make the throws that Arthur's wanting him to make, facilitate 2 guys around the field, because Desmond isn't going to be given the reins, the keys to the car here, unless he can make the plays that Arthur Smith's asking him to do. And there's a lot of just, again, execution issues based on Carolina's defensive play on Sunday, that the execution that we had was nowhere near what it needed to be in order to, like Tyler Algier catching a screen pass and not getting to the first down because he decides to go out of bounds instead of cutting up the field, and Arthur Smith's literally sitting there, crouching down on his knees, hands over his head, like, I cannot believe you guys are just not seeing the field. You're getting tunnel vision everywhere. But that doesn't mean that things weren't good. There's a lot of good in it. Kyle Pitts did show up a couple of times. Drake London had a big fat 0, but when you're dropping balls that are hitting you right in the hand, and you're not really getting the separation that you're looking for, because there was a lot of times where Kyle Pitts was double covered, Drake London was a one-on-one and covered well, and then the only open option was a check down to a running back, and it ended up gaining 5 yards or no yards. So it was very feast or famine, and the execution was just blocked up by what Carolina was able to do. So all hats off to Carolina and what they were able to accomplish. I mean, I don't think Falcons fans want to necessarily hear that Carolina did what they were supposed to do, but they did. They did end up doing what they were supposed to do. They did a very, very good job of holding up Atlanta's point of attack. My only real issue with what happened on Sunday was, could they just possibly run it a little bit more? I think we could have done something like that, but without Cordero Patterson here, I think you take kind of that three-headed dragon. You don't have that fluffy, that Cerberus kind of attack. And so because you don't have that kind of attack, you're putting a lot of a load on a rookie, which you don't want to overrun. And Tyler Algier, who doesn't need to be out there every single play because he's not as dynamic as a Bijan Robinson. I mean, Bijan Robinson was able to juke a guy so hard that he slid on the field. Juked another guy because if you actually do it in slow frame, you see one of the dudes actually end up going a little too far to the outside, and he splits between two guys trying to tackle and goes in the end zone, whereas Tyler Algier is running guys over and getting the extra 5-10 yards. So my thought process is they just need to continue to let Algier and Bijan do what they need to do, and just find unique ways to. Pitts needs to be first option. London needs to be third or fourth option, and that's just my takeaway offensively from what they were able to accomplish on Sunday. I don't think there's anything actually necessarily wrong with what the Falcons are currently utilizing. It's just better execution needs to hit up where it needs to be hit up. Guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell. Go into the comments and make sure that you comment in the live stream here. If you haven't said hi already in the chat, I would love to say hi to you. We're just kind of having it a little bit open here because we don't have a lot of members, but thank you so much to Ryan Watkins, 908 Trader. 901 Trader. I really appreciate you so much for the shareholders $50 a month membership drop. That was fantastic. I really appreciate you. I just want to say hi to all the peeps that I've seen comment in the chat. Mr. Moss, Jay Holland, T Dub 87, Ryan Watkins, Falcons fan 408, Kitty, Blizz 818, Raymond Elder in the building. Thank you so much. Child of God, I really appreciate you being here. That's Mrs. Lieutenant Dan, guys. Say hi to Mrs. Lieutenant Dan if you have a second. I would really appreciate that. Dr. Slicknuts. Wow. Stealth mode. Good man. I hope you're doing well. Rise up, stay grounded. Rise up. Week 1 seemed like it was like an extra preseason game for the starters. It's kind of funny that you say that because I think that's more true than anything. I feel like that's more true than we've ever seen before, is that these games at the very beginning, man, they are not good games. Like the week 1 games were very like, everybody's freaking out. Do you think the Bills are that bad? Do we think the Chiefs will lose that many games? I don't know, man. Moon Carter, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Rise up, Lieutenant Dan. Good season opener win. Hey, Miss Lieutenant Dan, glad you're feeling and doing better. Rise up, stay grounded. Oh, thank you, Woon. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you so much. From myself and Mrs. Lieutenant Dan to all of the grounders here in the chat, I really appreciate you all for supporting us in this really, really rough time. Not only with our situation but that we're trying to make this a full-time job, and we're trying to supply you guys with amazing content. So thank you for going to all of the YouTube shorts, because that's mostly Mrs. Lieutenant Dan helping with those shorts and making those scripts and actually putting those videos together. So please make sure you check out all the YouTube shorts that we're doing on Unintentional Grounding. And thank you to Mrs. Lieutenant Dan for just really, saying, hey, this is what we need to do, and let's lean on it, and let's really push into it, because we're going to make some great quality content for this. So thank you to Mrs. Lieutenant Dan and all the grounders supporting myself and Mrs. Lieutenant Dan. We're so thankful. So thank you so much. It really means a lot. It really means a lot. If we can somehow survive off of something like this because you guys are supporting us, then we can put out some amazing content, and I hope you guys are ready for just a fantastic and wonderful year. It's going to be great. Got to get that coffee in. And it's pumpkin spice too, man. It's pumpkin spice because we got to come on, man. Come on. It's got to be the pumpkin spice. We're in the year. We're in that time. We're in that season now. It's got to be pumpkin spice. Crazy. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So, yeah. I defensively, let's talk about the defense for just a second, because I definitely want to get into that. How do we match up against the Packers? So I am going to be watching tonight the condensed version of Packers-Bears. I'm looking at the Packers right now, and I can tell you that a guy like Tom Grossi, go check out his content, because Tom's a hoot. Tom is something else. But I can tell you right now that Tom Grossi is going to absolutely dog the Falcons and say, come on, guys, we can take care of this. We've got Jordan Love. We've got ourselves a young core. There's guys here. This offensive line is good. The Falcons weren't able to come away with too many sacks unless it was a coverage sack. We can get the ball out quick. And I'm looking to see if two factors come up. Number one is if the Falcons end up having Jeff Okudah for this game. That would help from not only a running game perspective, but also be able to say, hey, we won't get burned down the sideline like we were getting burned. The second one that I want to talk about real quick is the adjustments the Falcons are going to make, because the Packers defense will continue to play a heavy man down below. Can the Falcons begin to run the ball effectively against Green Bay? And it will be in Atlanta, so it's not like there's extra added pressure there. They need to just have another basic fun game. They need to just a basic fun game to be able to make it work. I think the Bears are not a good team, and so it's hard to judge what the Packers did to the Bears without going, well, Justin Fields doesn't have the firepower and the effort put into protecting him to be able to be effective in Chicago. And so Justin Fields is also questioned from a quarterbacking perspective, because we're looking at things through a wide lens. So when we look at things through a wide lens, we say, well, Justin Fields can't throw the ball well, and he's a better runner than he is a thrower. That's not true, but you wouldn't know that unless, obviously, the offensive line does a better job at blocking. You wouldn't know that unless the rushing attack was better. You wouldn't know that unless the Packers offense, who, by the way, had their own mistakes early on in that game, from what I understand, they match up well against us from a passing game perspective. But if the Falcons go run game, they're going to need to move guys out of the way, because I think it's more of a tissue paper standpoint from a player's perspective at the DB third level, third level, than it is that front seven. I think that front seven is going to be another problem again for us. And McGarry, again, and I've already said this multiple times, McGarry is a complete and utter failure when it comes to pass protect. And we have to get the ball out so quickly in order not for Desmond Ridder to not get hit. And so, I sit here and I tell you, I don't want to put any particular narratives out there, but I can tell you right now, this team will suffer if we do not make a concerted effort to get a new right tackle. And this team will fail a lot this year. I could even see technically a guy like McGarry getting benched if this continues over the next 2-3 games, because you can't afford Desmond Ridder to start feeling ghosts or seeing ghosts, only 4 weeks in the season. You're going to ruin this quarterback if McGarry is still here. I think the Falcons could be looking into the near future, like the NFL draft of 2024. And there's a place in 2024 where the Falcons end up taking an offensive lineman in the first or second round to kind of shore up what they've got going on at right tackle, because it's literally a turnstile. It's actually creating more discourse than it needs to, because guys like Chris Lindstrom are having to babysit Caleb McGarry. So you need Caleb McGarry to start playing wider. You need him to start attacking guys and going after guys. But if this continues, I wouldn't be too surprised if McGarry gets sat, because look, man, it's just not strong. It's not strong enough. They need a right tackle that's not going to get bullied. And the bully ball that happened, again, against the Panthers, against Brian Burns, is very, very good. That kind of bully ball and that kind of stuff that was happening, that's not good enough, man. That's going to get Desmond Ridder hurt. So I do it. Confidence level for all of y'all that have seen the first week of play. Out of 10, give me your number of confidence with Desmond Ridder. I want to see in the chat. I want to see everybody put a number down. How do you feel about Desmond Ridder going into week 2? Because I can tell you that he did enough. He did enough to in some way, shape, or form, Desmond Ridder did enough for me to say, I don't think there's going to be an option out there, regardless of who it is, that's going to do better than what the Riddler is currently doing in Atlanta. I just don't think there's really anything out there that you can do. And they're going to win games. Not only just because they have a weak schedule, but because I believe this team is actually an average to above average unit right now. They clean up some of the execution, and suddenly we're talking about Desmond Ridder throwing for 200-plus yards a game. It's not too far off. So it's there's a lot to be desired. I think there's a lot you could do with this. But Ridder doesn't seem like the guy that's going to sprint down the field and gain a bunch of yards. He's going to be the guy that's going to, Aaron Rodgers-esque, too bad that he, tore his ACL in the first night of the year. But Aaron Rodgers is that kind of guy when I think of someone who can scramble for 5 yards and frustrate you. That's what Desmond Ridder's game needs to be tailored to, is just running 5 yards and frustrating people, because otherwise you're going to run with your three-headed monster in the backfield and you're going to pass to Kyle Pitts. Mac Hollins got a better opportunity than London, because London is out there being kind of a decoy. Pitts was being a decoy in a lot of cases for us to go and throw it to other places on the field. I also want to bring up this, is that why is it okay for Julio Jones from the past couple of years? It's okay for him to be a decoy to open up somebody else on the field, but it's not okay for Pitts or London or Bijan to be decoys to open up plays for other guys on this roster. I don't get that. So I'm going to sit here and say, look, I don't know what Falcons fans are asking for specifically. You can't get the ball to every single person. We got all these first-round talents. They need to get to every single guy. It's impossible to do so. It's literally impossible to see Pitts, London, Mac Hollins, Bijan Janu, Tyler Algier, and CP all get stat lines that are worth a damn. Unless you want everybody to have really, really low stat lines, but everybody has a stat line and we end up winning, 35 to 20. And listen, I'm going to be straight up and honest. This Falcons team just stopped a team from scoring more than 10 points on them. We're going against the Packers, who definitely can put up 20 points. So I'm looking at the Packers and saying I'm a little more worried about what the Packers can do to us. But if we play the same game, there won't be a lot of clock. We'll score touchdowns when we need it. Coup is automatic from 50 or so. I'm pretty hopeful. I mean, I think every bit of money that we were able to put into getting Jesse Bates was completely and utterly worth it. We have a safety that actually can make plays. That's insane. Did Johnny Smith even play? Him and himself and Michael Pruitt and Kyle Pitts all played. So all of our tight ends played. Good sip of coffee, you know. Got to get the sips of coffee in. But you had a very, 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 very good group of guys come in and played a lot of snaps, a lot of blocks, and honestly, watching the tape over and over and over, I'm not ready for week 2 because there's also a lot of work that comes with being ready for week 2. But I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons and going, this will be a test. This will be the real first test. I don't think the Panthers, again, I think Blizz said it in the chat, but this felt like a glorified preseason game. If this was the dress rehearsal and we got a dub off of the dress rehearsal and now we're taking on the Packers and this is the real deal, like this is it right here, this is what we need to be ready for. Yeah, I'm all for it. If we can come out and we can show that we can be a much more composed and a team that can execute at a high level, then I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons winning against the Green Bay Packers like in a 24-21 game, and a lot of teams and talking heads probably turning around, opening their eyes and going, the Falcons, they won 2 games, and the first one was kind of wacky, but the second one, maybe it was just as wacky, but it proves the point that the Falcons are looking to win. The Falcons have a unit that can get you, that can psych you out. So I'm looking for the Falcons to settle the offensive line down. Number 1, settle the offensive line down. Number 2, create more runs. Number 3, run clock and find your passes off of play action. Very, very simple. Everybody knows what you're going to be trying to do. It's all about execution. The routes they're running are crisp and good. I've already reviewed them. I will have the Desmond Ridder throw video out very, very soon, but we've already seen it. We've literally already seen the routes themselves, at least my team anyway, and the people in my Discord have already seen the routes develop and happen. So the routes were good. They were breaking ankles. We just couldn't get the ball there because our offensive line could not hold up against the Carolina Panthers in their pass rush. They sent 4 and 5 most times, and that was it was tough for us to be able to handle. Defensively, just go out and do the same thing that you were doing. Bend, don't break. I know people don't want to really hear that, but a bend, don't break defense ends up creating turnovers because eventually, and I said this before the season started, this type of offense will score on successful long drives, on short field opportunities, and those drives will end up getting the Falcons points, and teams will end up playing from behind and having to pass the ball, and we will not get the sacks that we're looking for, but the pressure will be there, the hits and hurries will be there, and fumbles and interceptions will be plentiful with this defense. It's going to be a defense that's going to capitalize on those types of things. So, if you haven't said hi in the chat already, please, by all means, I'd love to hear you in the live chat. Please go into the live chat, say hi. We're going to be on for the next 10 minutes here answering questions. I'm done with my little bit here. We got some shorts. We got some videos coming out. Membership program is available down below in the link in the description of this video. All the social media platform stuff is also available for you in the description of this video. Make sure that you follow us on all platforms. Shout out to Peas, absolutely. If you have any questions right now, I would love to hear it from you guys. So please go into the live stream chat. If you haven't said hi, please say hi. If you're new to the stream, please hit that follow button, or like, subscribe, comment, share, all of those good things. Christopher Sanders, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you can be notified when the stream goes live instantly. And check us out every day. We've got new content that drops periodically through the week. Not a great way to be able to give you guys a full scheduling of things, but we're doing some stuff. So we got the membership programs too. If you want to support the stream monthly, link is in the description right now. If you want to do super chats, those are available and open. And if you guys want to go into the live stream right now and go into the chat and ask any questions, we got about 10 minutes here, and I will answer any questions from there. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and then we'll get into the live chat. Any questions at all, I would love to hear from you guys, and we'll get into it right now. I think Okuda back will be huge versus Green Bay. I agree. That whole side of the field was a target share for Bryce Young. So if you actually go look at his actual targets, which I believe is a PFF grader, you can see all of his completed targets and all of his miscues and interceptions. The interceptions literally came from the exact middle of the field, and he was lighting up the right and lighting up the left on both edges. So he was doing some pretty good work, but it was still dink and dunk kind of football throughout both offenses' drives. So kind of just where they were at. Raymond Elder pops in and says, how did you like the rookie left guard performance? So I never mentioned Bergeron in the entire stream up to this point. I mentioned Jake Matthews getting beat up but still looked solid enough. I mentioned Dahlman and Lindstrom also getting beat up but looking pretty solid, just looking like they were good. And then I mentioned McGarry getting absolutely trashed. Matthew Bergeron was the only offensive lineman that I watched the entire game that was actually holding on to the Panthers' defensive linemen and defensive ends and backers. He missed a couple of cues here or there, but he was one of the only guys that was pushing people around, and his side, him and Jake Matthews, were working wonders together in the run game. So I would give him an A, or I'd give him like an 8 out of 10, because I just felt like he did what he was signed to do. He was drafted to do. Has come in here and solidified a spot that was a complete and total weakness for us. I think they go into this week going, running off the left-hand side might be one of our most explosive plays that we could possibly utilize. Running off the right-hand side will be more predictable, but is still a good way to get the ball out. McGarry just can't pass block, and that's going to be a problem for us. We can't use play action when we can't pass block. Now, they stopped using play action a little bit and started just lining up in the backfield and throwing the ball, just standing out. And they brought some motion across the field. I like Desmond Ridder signaling his stuff, finding out exactly what was going on, and making his passes in a very precise and concise manner. They did well on that part, and Matthew Bergeron was the reason why they did so well in that part, because there wasn't as much interior pressure, and Desmond Ridder could stand right there in the pocket and make the throw. I wish Desmond would step up into the pocket more, but again, if both of your edges are breaking down, then it's not gonna work. Mr. Moss comes in with a question and says, was the running back from preseason our kick returner, or am I tripping? I don't think you're tripping. But they did have D. Alford as the kick and punt returner. and then they flipped it to Scotty Miller. I think that was the case, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm wrong, I apologize. I just know that was posted in the press conference afterwards. A press conference from yesterday. Yesterday or today. I can't remember when the actual press conference was when they were asking all the questions. Falcons fan 408. Luckily, they didn't sign McGarry for huge money, but he is here for 3 years. Would be dead money to bench, I think. You can't really get rid of him until 2025. But you could trade him this coming season, and I think there is a little bit of a catch. Yeah, I think you could draft somebody and end up trading him for later. Let me actually open this up real quick. Let me see. Let's take a look at this. Caleb McGarry. Contract. Contract details is if we got rid of him next year, we'd have a dead cap of $9 million and a cap savings of $3 million. But if we traded him before June 1st, we would have a dead cap of $4 million and a cap savings of $8.5 million. So what I would do is I would run with McGarry currently. Okay, just hear me out, and I want to hear everybody's opinion in the chat if you think this is a bad idea. But I would run with McGarry throughout the rest of the year and then go into next year and sell to some team the idea of Caleb McGarry starting for their right tackle position to trade for him pennies on the dollar, something silly, because the contract they're getting is very, very low when you talk about the final 2 years of his contract, 24 and 25. They end up receiving a part of the contract that's not so bad for dead money and things. So I would ask for like a 3rd or 4th round pick for Caleb McGarry and just let the team run with it and get your $8 million, and I would either draft or bring in another right tackle. The run defense was solid and gave up some explosive plays. What's your take? Raymond, so my take on the run defense was that later in the game, things got better. Later in the game, things got a lot better. But early in the game, Hubbard and Sanders were just gashing us for runs. So I wonder, again, this is just my opinion, but I wonder if maybe it's time for a guy like Zach Harrison to get an opportunity to play. If Zach Harrison gets an opportunity to play and maybe solidifies one side that we need him to be in. Again, nose tackle continues to be something that I press for. I know Amanyata is playing nose tackle and looked good and even had I believe it was a sack that he had. But guys, look, we really need a real space-eating nose tackle. And if the opportunity comes up for the Atlanta Falcons to possibly move Grady Jarrett, the contract status does state that he can be moved, as well as Jake Matthews. Guys, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. They set this up to be a way that McGarry, Matthews, and Grady Jarrett could all be moved this offseason with a huge amount of money that we have available. All those guys can get moved this offseason. The Falcons could have I was about to say something not so great, but you have a ridiculous amount of money. You go look at the contracts yourselves. Don't hate on me for just bringing up the idea of Matthews and Grady and McGarry all getting traded and or cut for money. Go look at their contracts themselves on Spotrac. Lil Collins was released today, but he's coming off surgery. If you're asking, should the Falcons pick up La'el Collins, I would say no. I'm here for Younghoe Koo. There's like 20 people in the chat right now. Who is here for Koo? Can I get some Koo in the chat, man? I just need to see everybody in the chat just be like Koo. Because the guy hit a couple of field goals for us that we really needed on Sunday. I almost said yesterday, but Sunday. Koo. Crystal, Miss Lieutenant Dan likes certain players on the Atlanta Falcons, and Koo is 100% one of them. Koo's the guy, bro. Like, I mean, Koo's the dude. Like, you can't hate on Koo, bro. Like, that's our man's. That's our guy. Like, he scared us in the preseason. He scared us a little bit in the preseason, but we're okay. He hit some. He's cool. He's cool. He's the G. He's the guy. He's the man's. Any other questions before we head out of here, man? Can we trade for Chandler Jones, please? Dontarius Pope, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. A big salute to you, good sir. Could we trade for Chandler Jones? Didn't he just sign a contract? And if I'm mistaken, and he hasn't signed a contract yet, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to see what they are doing now. Fans need to let him kick before he kicks, though. Heard. Yeah, true. He still makes them. Yeah, true. Still good. Still good. Let's take a look at this real quick before we... All right, so we are cheer. Yeah, need to cheer him. Okay, typo. I was like, kick before kick. I don't know anything about that. Make sure you guys go over to the PSF app. Link is in the description of this video right now. Listen, y'all. If you've ever wanted to be on, like, it's like a combination of like YouTube meets Discord meets Twitter, with live shows that you can call into, and be on the screen with me on the screen during games. I have been contracted with them. You see the big logo down below right over here. PSF has contracted me to work with them for the year, for all 17 Falcons games. I will only be able to do 16 of them this year. I will even be on for the London game at 9 a.m. Make sure you guys come on over and come check us out. We're going to be live on PSF every Sunday for all the Falcons games, and I'm going to have co-hosts like Scott Karaskic, who's also going to be on the show. There's going to be other Dirty Birds legends and content creators with us every Sunday. So check out the PSF app. They're working things out currently for Android, but for iOS, it's currently open for people to go download the app and check it out. If you pick it up on Android, it's currently called Relevant. Yes, something like that. They're currently making the changes, and as you know, iOS is a little bit harder to work. Android's a little bit harder to get the apps actually worked out because there's a lot of phone types and there's a lot of ways to be able to go get the app. So different Play Stores, different things that you have to do. The app is currently up and available for iOS, and when you go and sign on, make sure you go and follow me, LT_Dan. I'm on there on the app, and I am talking and putting the videos on there. We're actually going to be doing a midweek show later, so I would love to be able to talk to you guys on there and be able to have some fun. Rise up and stay grounded, y'all, as we're going to be getting out of here tonight. Make sure you guys check out the shorts and check out the join button in the description of this video, as well as on the Desmond Ritter video from previously. You can be a member and part of the membership program. Anyone who does the $20 or $50 donation monthly subscription will get to come onto the Discord and be able to watch live videos being made of the all 22 tape, as well as be able to come and talk and sit down with me and be able to see everything on an actual call. So I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your night. Rise up and stay grounded to every single person in the chat tonight. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to work with you guys and be able to show you so much great content and be able to answer your questions. Thank you for supporting the channel and supporting myself and Mrs. Lieutenant Dan, who are just working through everything from the medical stuff to the jobs to just doing this content for you guys every day. And it's just been, again, a blessing and honor to do things with you guys and be out here with you guys. So I just want to say a prayer before I actually get out of here. So if you guys don't mind just sticking around for this for just 1 second. But Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this opportunity to come on tonight, work on these videos for these guys, be able to produce some fantastic content. Lord, thank you for all of the openness and honestness, the honesty that these amazing people, the grounders who have been able to come out and support us here. Thank you for the blessings that they have given us, that we have received. Lord, I'm a loss for words, Lord, because these people are so amazing and just so supportive of everything that we do. So, Lord, continue to bless them, bless their families, and bless their lives. Continue to raise them up from a place of meekness and weakness to strength with the armor of God on them. And, Lord, continue to just bless them and show them the way, not only up here in the mind, but also in the heart, Lord, because they need love more than they've ever needed before. We've been through so many tough and trying times, not just sports, Lord, but also just these past couple of years, medically, mentally, emotionally, physically. We've really needed love, Lord, and you are providing that to us every single day. So allow our hearts to open up so that you can continue to bless us. In Jesus' name, amen. You guys have a just absolutely fantastic night tonight. Make sure you guys take a shot for me because I don't drink as much anymore. And make sure you check out all the media links down below. Rise up, stay grounded, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Peace. Hair grease.